Rajasthan will vote today to elect a new government. Well, as far as both the BJP and the Congress are concerned, they have not left any stone unturned to ensure they win this time. But what is it that is keeping both the Congress and the BJP on tenterhooks? To analyze all this, we have with us our political editor D.K. Singh and my colleague Amogh. Welcome to Polygraph, sir. Yeah. Sir, to begin with the first question itself, what is it that has made both the Congress and the BJP jittery, if at all?
First of all, for the last 30 years, Rajasthani voters have been changing their governments every 5 years. So again, the Congress is kind of confronted with this big task of changing the trend. Secondly, if you look at it, for the last in the last two elections, not in the last two elections, I would say the last two times the Congress won, it was with a narrow margin. And on both occasions, the Congress did not get a majority of its own. So in 2018, when they won, they had just 100 seats out of 200 MLAs in the assembly. So one short of a majority mark. 2008, when the Congress had won, it was 5 short of the majority mark. It was only when in 98, when Ashok Gehlot became the chief minister for the first time, the Congress had got 153 seats.
Right.
But after that, it has been a difficult struggle. For the BJP, it's quite different. So BJP in 2003, when the BJP won 120 out of 200 seats. It was the first time that the BJP formed a government on its own in Rajasthan. That was Vasundhara Raje's charisma then. Next time BJP won, 2013, BJP got 163 seats, a massive victory. So, given that past experience, the Congress has to be jittery, and plus of course this trend of changing government every 5 years in Rajasthan. Then if you look at the data of the 2018 election, Congress got 100 seats, BJP got 73 seats. But look at the narrow difference in their vote shares. Congress got 39.30% votes, BJP got 38.77% votes. So even when Vasundhara Raje government was facing anti-incumbency,
the vote share was,
the difference in their vote shares was just 0.53 percentage point. So they have valid reasons. I mean, they have to be jittery, given if you look at the data. When you come to the BJP, of course, BJP's main worry would be that, it has been a divided house for long, even when Raje was the chief minister. We remember how Amit Shah wanted Gajan Singh Shekhawat as the state BJP chief, and Raje kept resisting it, and finally the BJP High Command had to give in. Even after after Raje lost, she was out of power, there was this consistent attempt to undermine her because the BJP High Command was looking for a fresh face there. It experimented with many, although Shekhawat could not become the state BJP chief, it went with Saini, then you had Punia. It kept changing, and it has quite a few well-known faces from Rajasthan. You have Rajavardhan Singh Rathore, you have Shekhawat. If you look at the national scene, but Diya Kumari is again, she is an MP now, but none of them have that mass appeal that Vasundhara has. They may be known in their assembly or Lok Sabha constituencies at best, but you don't have a pan-state mass leader. So Vasundhara is way above them. But then the High Command wants to change the face, and this struggle has been on. So for the last 4.5 years or 5 years, instead of cornering the Congress government in the state, BJP was busy, trying to keep its house together. And that is the biggest worry of the BJP. We are told that in the ticket distribution, after that things have improved, and of course people want change. But then how will this Vasundhara factor matter? BJP will be worried about that very much, because you have, I am talking about 2003 when BJP won 120 seats, a majority on its own for the first time, but that was after Vasundhara Raje's Parivartan Yatra. So, I had this statewide Parivartan Yatra, and I was posted in Jaipur then, and even I was not expecting that kind of results. She was getting a lot of response from people, especially women, but nobody would believe that what Bhairav Singh Shekhawat could never achieve for the BJP, a majority on its own, Vasundhara could. but she did that. So, even now she has, I mean, she is quite popular among women at least, and largely also because she has been Chief Minister for 10 years. Amogh will talk about it later. But then how it will play out? So, you do not want Vasundhara as the Chief Minister, you do not have a face, you have gone there with Prime Minister Modi as the face, the collective leadership they talk about. Will it work? Will it not work? Of course, BJP has to be worried. For the Congress again, when you talk about rebellion, we do not know how pilot will impact the results, because as my colleague Shankar reported from Tong and all those Gurjar dominated areas, they have this, the community has this grouse that pilot was kind of not made the Chief Minister, and the way he was treated in the party, treated by the Chief Minister, Ashok Gehlot, they have this grouse, how it will work out for the Congress. So, we saw today we saw yesterday how Gehlot was tweeting this video of Sachin Pilot trying to show that both are together, but the fact is they are not, and on the ground the message is very clear. How will Gurjars vote? Because Gurjars actually control the results, I won't say control, but Gurjar influence the results on at least 40 seats, 40 out of 200 seats in Rajasthan. If they are unhappy with the Congress, it's a big region for the Congress, big region to be worried about. So, there are many factors for both parties to be, on tenterhooks that way.
Amogh, the Congress's campaign in Rajasthan has been centered largely around welfareism or, freebies as some call it. Can you explain a little, considering you travelled and, what is your feedback?
Yeah, so before we get into that, a few of the freebies, as people call them freebies, that were announced by Ashok Gehlot government in run-up to elections over the last few months, and even before that, there was free electricity up to 100 units, there was LPG cylinders for ₹500, then health insurance scheme up to ₹25 lakh, also the free ration kit was there, and then free scooters for girls. So all these things were there. I travelled through Sikar, I travelled through Alwar, and also some parts of Jaipur. What I found was, from my limited experience, I must put that out, what I found was that it is not, freebies is not that big an issue in the elections. Like on ground, people are not talking about it as much. They won't say that I will vote for Congress because of freebies. I'll vote for BJP because they are getting ration.
So it's not a deciding factor.
Yeah, it's not a very decisive factor that way. But there are particularly two things that I found which seem to be a little popular, especially among all other freebies. One was free ration and the health insurance scheme. They to some extent do resonate and people do talk about.
So one announced by the BJP, another by the Congress. So
even the Congress party has announced that free ration kit.
But even PM has also announced
not about the Prime Minister's announcement.
Both the things. Ration is particularly more popular, I feel that way.
Okay.
In the voters.
And what you were telling me, that people say that fine, if you give free ration to poor people, it's fine, but you shouldn't be distributing.
Yeah, that is also there. That for most of the people, it was like if you're giving it to poor and
needy,
marginalized, then it's good, it's fine. But for others, if you are giving it to others, then it's not fine. Then those kind of freebies are not very acceptable on ground.
So rather use it for some developmental issues and all.
Issues for marginalized.
Neelam, you also travelled across Rajasthan and you have spoken to many leaders there. Tell me something about this Vasundhara factor. This message that has gone across the state that the High Command does not want her as the Chief Minister, and she remains the only mass leader with presence across the state.
Right.
How is it playing out on the ground?
Well, to begin with, I would just like to say that, the BJP decided to go for collective leadership, as we all know, and PM Modi is the main face of the campaign. But at the same time, I found that unlike Madhya Pradesh, where, all the 11 leaders, including Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Prahlad Patel, all of these leaders found space on the official campaign posters. In Rajasthan, it is PM Modi, JP Nadda, who is the party president, CP Joshi, who is the state president, and the leader of opposition. Apart from them, the only face that is visible is that of Vasundhara Raje.
Was it like Madhya Pradesh? So Madhya Pradesh posters, as you sent pictures to me, Prime Minister Modi's face will be like this,
Yes.
and all these 11 including Chief Minister
Yes.
will be like here.
Just like a
of the same
smaller
distance.
in size.
Yes.
But that's not the case in Rajasthan. I mean, of course, PM is the biggest face, but Vasundhara Raje is prominently, visible on these posters. That is one thing. What I feel is that, they are in a way forced to acknowledge her presence, because at least on ground, people do attend her rallies. I attended her rally in Alwar, where women do recognize her. Women feel that, her 2 tenures were quite good. They also talk about the fact that, we have come to attend this rally only for her. So as far as Vasundhara Raje is concerned, officially she was not given any particular direction. This is what BJP leaders told us from the central leadership, to hold any particular rally for any candidate. But candidates on their own had requested her. So she, in a span of 23 days, she addressed around 60 rallies. So there was a lot of demand for her rallies from individual candidates who feel that, on ground there is, this pull factor as far as Raje is concerned. But at the same time, while talking to these BJP leaders in Rajasthan, they feel that what will decide her fate is the margin of victory that the BJP, if whatever happens, if the margin will decide her fate. So if it is a very, very close contest,
Touch and go, yeah.
Yes, then she will have a lot of influence. But if BJP wins it by a big margin, then BJP leaders claim that the party will go for maybe a generational shift, maybe a new face would be given, just like it has happened in other states like Haryana and UP, that a completely new person might be given the task. But at the same time, I would like to say that as far as Raje factor is concerned, while people do know her, while people do acknowledge that she has worked in the past, but the CM issue is not that important a factor for them.
You're saying a very interesting thing. What you're saying is that it's in the interest of both Ashok Gehlot and Vasundhara Raje that their parties do not get a clear majority. So in 2018, for instance, it worked for Ashok Gehlot because, Sachin Pilot was there. He had worked as a state Congress president. He worked very hard for 5 years. And the Congress High Command was very much amenable to the idea of, making him the chief minister. But then the Congress ended up one MLA short. And it's not just about one MLA, because you cannot just form the government with 101 MLAs and expect it to last. So then you saw how the BSP MLAs, joined the Congress, merged, and that was given to Ashok Gehlot, because the previous government also in 2008, he had managed the government. It was a minority government. He had just 96 MLAs. So when it came to 100 MLAs, it worked in Ashok Gehlot's favor that the party did not have a clear majority, and Ashok Gehlot was seen as somebody who could manage the government for 5 years with that figure. Now Vasundhara has been winning with the big margins, but now call it an irony that it's in her interest that the BJP does not get a clear majority or not that kind of majority. It's quite an interesting thing.
And if I could add, even the posters that I saw, she's not just big enough, she's standing right next to the Prime Minister. So that's also there.
So you also visited a number of constituencies. What are the people saying about Raje?
So I think I would agree to what you are saying and what DK sir is also saying. One, when you speak to women, I'll tell you an anecdote. When I went to some of the women, they were wearing a wheel and they were wearing BJP scarf, and I went to them, कि आपका मुख्यमंत्री कौन होना चाहिए? Who should be your chief minister? First answer is Modi should be our chief minister. And then you push them further, then they say Vasundhara. That is there that she's popular among women. Even among others, who should be your chief minister? Vasundhara or anyone but Vasundhara when it comes to BJP. One thing is very clear, that they don't know any other chief minister contenders. But when it comes to their CM-ship, her CM-ship, that they'll vote for BJP only if Vasundhara is chief minister. That thing is not there at all.
So basically you're saying is Vasundhara being upset won't really hurt the BJP because the people who are going to vote for the BJP are doing it for the party, not for Vasundhara.
Not for.
So even if they are sympathetic with Vasundhara, that won't really determine their voting preference.
She's not that big a factor. And when you speak to booth level karyakartas, even there,
the BJP karyakartas.
BJP karyakartas, its message is very clear. They don't say whom they want to see as the chief
So
minister.
see, for the party cadres, it's always the case. Like party is above individuals. But if
Right.
people are also saying that, I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Neelam, tell you one thing. You know, one of the stories you did was about how the BJP changed its campaign strategy. I mean, what it was doing in Madhya Pradesh or say Chhattisgarh, and how it's different in Rajasthan. Can you tell us about this?
Yeah, well, we could call it a bespoke strategy. As far as, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh is, are concerned, there, the BJP concentrated more on freebies or welfareism. They did talk about Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, but because of the, let's say, the success of the Ladli Behna scheme to some extent, the BJP felt that, they should concentrate on that in Madhya Pradesh. At the same time, in Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel is already sort of connected with the Hindu sentiment because of the, schemes that he has already announced, the policies that are there. So you can't counter him on that aspect, and which is why BJP focused on corruption, welfare measures. But in Rajasthan, I felt, I mean, from the word go, right from all the senior leaders, including PM Modi, the campaign was, it was a high decibel Hindutva centric campaign where, polarization could be, seen in the air. So whether it was Hawa Mahal where I went and interacted with people, or in other constituencies of Jaipur district, so people were talking about Kanhaiya Lal the tailor, who was allegedly hacked to death by 2 Muslim men. And at the same time, a lot of people were talking about the inauguration of Ram Mandir, which will take place in January. If we look at even the rallies of Prime Minister Narendra Modi or Yogi Adityanath, the focus of their speeches was the appeasement, the so-called appeasement by Gehlot government, the inauguration of Ram Mandir, and how, in Rajasthan, the Gehlot government has, banned processions by, Hindu outfits, or they have put a ban on Hindu festivals. So I felt that as far as local leaders were concerned, the candidates were concerned, they were talking about both welfare measures as well as Hindutva, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi or the central leadership of the BJP, they were largely talking about the appeasement politics or the, the Hindutva aspect.
At the local level, even I saw a lot of Hindutva campaign from BJP, whether it was Ram Mandir's inauguration or even the talk of Article 370.
So campaign is fine, but what kind of traction is it getting? Is it resonating on the ground?
As far as BJP voters were concerned, yes, they were talking about it. Dekhiye, Ram Mandir banne ja raha hai and those kind of things. That was there.
No, when I went to Hawa Mahal, which I mean, I'm giving an example of Hawa Mahal because there I really interacted with a lot of people. There, normal people were talking about the inauguration of Ram Mandir, that when the inauguration will take place, we will go there, we will celebrate Diwali on that day when it happens. So definitely, as far as setting the narrative is concerned, it has become an issue. Whether this will be the only deciding factor, I will not be able to say. But at least the BJP has been successful in ensuring that this has become the talking point as far as Rajasthan elections are concerned. But one question I would like to ask DK sir, that PM Modi has been the face as far as it's Chhattisgarh elections, Madhya Pradesh election, now Rajasthan elections. Do you think this is a too big a gamble that the BJP has taken in terms of putting all the onus on PM Modi, especially when you have 2024 Lok Sabha elections next year?
I think BJP does not have any choice. And the fact is, Prime Minister Modi is quite popular. So in 2018 also, when you had this slogan going on in Rajasthan that, Modi tumse vair nahi, Vasundhara teri khair nahi.
Right.
Basically saying that we have nothing against the Prime Minister, but we will not spare Vasundhara. That was the slogan going on. And when the BJP managed to get 73 seats, the credit was given to the Prime Minister. And you see how popular he is, but because you look at, say, for instance, Rajasthan Lok Sabha election results. BJP sweeps 25 after 25, including one that went to its ally. Madhya Pradesh literally sweeps 28 out of 29. 14 also, it was 27 out of 29. Here, big votes. I mean, the victory margin is by about, say, usually victory margin is by about 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs on every seat. So PM is very popular in these states, but the fact also is people want to see their chief ministerial faces.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amogh, for this detailed analysis. Do join us next week. We'll be back with another episode.